Gopal, who's the Joint Managing Director of MGB Felicity Mall. He's one of the analysts on the show today, and I'd like to hand it over to him for him to share his views.
Hi Rashmi, thank you for the introduction. So the last 2 weeks have been quite challenging and interesting. So as you said, it's too early to draw a pattern on the retail trends. But I was so curious in this period, and I've collected some data on the trends. So let us just have a little bit of data crunching here. So I thought it would be a good way to start the meeting. So I was in touch with predominantly fashion mini anchors and vanilla stores. So around 15,000 square feet, 2,000 square feet. So I've collected the data from a lot of brands. So the conversions have increased by 55 to 65% from the original conversion rate they had, which is quite phenomenal. Most of them are doing their ever highest conversions now. That is number one. The average bill value has increased. The ABV has increased by 20%. And the bucket size, normally the bucket size for a fashion mini anchor is around 3. So the bucket size has increased to 3.6. So every person entering the store is buying a 3.6 pieces of garments. So that's quite impressive. Though the walk-ins have come down because of the closure of the cinemas and game zone, the conversions and the average bill value has gone up. So this also shows that there are not many window shoppers hanging around in the mall nowadays. So serious buyers are in the mall. So I'm comparing this data with a non-festive, non-EOSS month of last year. That is like February, March and November of 2019 to the current 2 weeks. So the overall business is down by around 30%. So then what I expected to what is happening is quite impressive, and week to week, there is a growth of week on week, there is a growth of around 10 to 15% based on the retailer. So it's a very positive sign. And I feel the way the customers are feeling in the mall today. So I have had first hand information from some customers. They say, sir, we feel more safer than a very big corporate hospital. One guy said, I was so surprised to listen to that comment because all the employees are following the SOPs. So I think the more the customer feels confident to come into the mall, I think it's going to pick up. I think the malls would be the future destination where they would feel safe and they would come out and enjoy their time. Yeah, over to you, Rashmi. Thank you.
Yeah, I think well said. It's good to hear some positive insights from you. And the other aspect you spoke about the safety norms, that's so true because, you enter a mall right from your thermal cameras to sanitization mats to, limiting the customers per store or measuring density in the mall at any given point in time through softwares that are installed. I think there are so many steps being taken by all the malls that I think, whether you say airports, hospitals, high streets, IT offices, commercial offices, I think the way all the malls are diligently implementing the SOPs across all their malls, certainly I would say malls are one of the safest places in today's context.
I would like to add something to what Mohit said, something very interesting on the impulsive purchases, right? So I've observed a very interesting trend in the last 2 weeks. So what's happening now, very high percentage of customers who are not the end consumers are visiting the mall. So the pre-COVID times, the person who is the customer is the end consumer of the product. So I'll give you an example. Today, a family gives the list to the father and he's coming alone and he's doing the shopping. So the pre-COVID times, the entire family used to come. And you know what happens when the family comes? The boy wants to buy a t-shirt, he picks up an ice cream on the way. The girl wants to buy a salwar, she picks up jeans and other things. So this impulsive purchase, 15 to 20% of the overall business, if I'm not wrong, happens with this impulsive purchase. And all of you know, we are the best guys to trigger the impulsive purchase senses in the customers. That's why we give a lot of importance on the tenant mix and the zoning. So I think with time, if the customer feels that the mall is the safest place, if he starts coming with the family back, I think this 20% to 15% should kick in very quickly. So that's
I
one
agree.
observation. Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree totally. I think there's going to be this positive word of mouth publicity, because when that
yeah,
individual goes back, if that individual has felt very safe in that environment,
yeah,
he will go back home and, amongst his friends and family, there's this positive word of mouth publicity, which will encourage more and more customers to come
Yeah.
back.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Gopal, would you want to add anything to our discussion so far? Anything that you want to share, you want to add?
Yes, I had some questions in the chat box also on the what's going on between the
If there's
retailers
any,
and the malls.
maybe we can ask everyone to put a comment on the chat box if you have any specific questions, any
Yeah,
queries you have.
yeah. So I would like to talk on this. See, it's very important we work hand in hand with the retailers today, and it's very important we understand the concerns the brands have. They have supply chain issues today, and they have the stocking issues. They don't have what do you say, the current season stock in the stores today. They have the previous season stock because of the shutdown. And like we just heard, the trial rooms are not open, and then the employees are on the rotation basis. 7 days a week, one set of employees come, and the other 7 days of week, the other set of employees come. And then in few locations, the employees are not comfortable to come and work in the mall. So that's also one challenge. They feel they are getting exposed too much, and there is a bit of iteration which is going on with the employees. And then even the stocks which they are returning, they're receiving now, they have to put them for a 2-day quarantine. So all these things we need to understand what's going on their side, and we have to express our concerns also, because we are not getting a EMI waiver from the government, right? We still have to pay our EMIs. So I think both of us should work hand in hand and come to a decent discounted deal, and then move forward. Maybe what most of the places I hear is there's something happening. Most of them are talking for the next 3 months and then reviewing after the next 3 months. I think the whole concept is to get all the stores open so that the customer doesn't feel deserted when he enters the mall.
Gopal can share with us what are the challenges with, from all the discussions that the panelists had. What are some of the challenges, and any thoughts in terms of addressing those challenges? Mohit, it'll be good to hear from you F&B related, because I think some of the members mentioned that it's important to get F&B back, and getting F&B back will help in bringing the business back. So in terms of QSR, cafe, restaurants, or takeaway, home delivery, sit out, a little bit perspective of that. And Umang, your takeaway in terms of any innovations or insights that you feel any of the panelists shared, it might be helpful for others taking forward.
Yeah, so let me start with the challenges. I'll give a brief list.
Short, because I think we have another 5 minutes to wrap up. So I'll request everyone to just keep it short to 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
You'll have to put your microphone on mute.
So one thing is one thing is we're not able to create the pre-COVID environment because of the restrictions on the crowd engaging activities. That is one. The operation time is one of the issue. We see that, and then the closure of the theaters, which are
the challenge in operational time that you're saying. You had mentioned it earlier also.
Yes, because the mall is closing at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. So when you see the trend, the purchase trend in the mall, highest trading happens in the late evenings, because most of the customer buy before the first show movie, or after the first show movie, or before the second show movie. So late evening is the trend. So that's very difficult to happen now. And now all the offices are open. So by the time a customer reaches his house, it is 6:30 in the evening. So you can't expect him to come to the mall at 7 o'clock. So that's one challenge we see now. And then last thing is that with these restrictions, like what we discussed in the past, the differentiation factor is not there today between a mall and the high street. So I think these things will improve over a period of time. And I want to make a small comment also. In these times, it is very important we have a detailed discussion with our staff on the challenges. So we need to run something called as a pre-mortem session. So sitting with team leaders and above, it's very important we take their feedback. It's very important we are very receptive to their feedback and the feedback of the retailers. So this is my suggestion.